Hey guys, how are you? This is Mr. Argueta. This is actually a take two. I tried to use the YouTube live feature to record the video this week. I guess trying to streamline it a little more, and anyhow, the quality was terrible. It sounded really choppy and buffering and whatever, but I had went live on YouTube and posted our video. Let me just show you what's going on here. Drinking a little bit of coffee and getting this morning started. It's been a late morning. It's been a cold morning. I tried to show you this in the previous video, but this is my heated vest. Check this out, guys. It changes temperature, so that's obviously the hottest. But during this crazy weather, or crazy temperature, I should say, I try to stay as warm as possible. Of course, being from Chicago, I should be used to this cold weather, but I lost that touch. We'll tell you that. Anyhow, want to give you an update in regards to where we're at in class and what's going on. I want to thank you all for making this probably a one of the, I guess, most cooperative classes I've had. You guys have really done a great job at participating in our discussions, in being involved in class, making connections with other students, which is the environment I, as an instructor, hoping to create. And you did that, so I want to say thank you for that. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being a part of the discussion. Thank you for taking time and effort and putting your thoughts into it and your personal experiences and allowing us all to grow from that. And that's the purpose of it. And I hope that you take something out of this class. I do read that some of you say you really learned a lot about either leadership or management or something in regards to what we've talked about. That makes me happy, excited, and I'm glad we were able to share these moments together. So that being said, I want to give you an update as to where we're at and where we're headed. So we are in week 6. So this is week 6 out of 7 weeks. So here's the catch. Next week is Thanksgiving week. So that means that we will not have any assignments due for next week. So there's no work that needs to be done in my class for next week. No discussions. There's no chapter work. There's nothing. It's a vacation for you guys. You guys are off. If you were in class, you wouldn't go to class. So if you're online, you won't be doing any work. But week 7 will be the following week, which starts like in the end of November, beginning of December. And that's when the last week of our class resumes. So that would be week number 7. So technically speaking, you finish this week, you get a break for a week, and then you finish off this whole semester the week after that, which I want you to know it's going to be a tough week. I don't want you to be surprised by that. It's going to be 2 chapters and the final exam. There is no extensions. I can't extend it. The semester ends. I enter final grades. It is the end of it all. So please take time this week to review your grades. Make sure you got everything that you completed, graded, and done. I'll be working through the discussions this week from last week. If I put anything up there, you should be able to go back through our discussion tabs and see any comments. Normally, as I mentioned in the videos, if you're not getting a 100%, it's because either your discussions are too short or you didn't complete what you're supposed to, which is 2 classmates respond to their discussions, my video, and your original post. That's 4 interactions that you have to have in discussions every week. No surprises there. I told you that from day one, and I told you that I'm a harsh grader when it comes to discussions. Here's the catcher. This upcoming week that you technically have no assigned work, I will allow you to go back through the discussion tabs and get as many points as you can if you have been missing any points. Students around this time start to email me and say, Mr. Argueta, how can I get a better grade? Do you have any extra credit? I don't have extra credit. I mentioned that day one. The only thing I will allow you to do to gain some points is go back and complete your discussions. Make sure you reply to 2 students, my video and your initial post. That's going to get you 100%. Make sure they're solid paragraphs, not 1-sentence replies. That will not get you full points. Go back in there, finish that off, bump up. That's going to impact your grade the most. So this is a good week to do that. I don't go back, so I'm not going to open up chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. I don't go back. We're gone. We're moving on. But discussions is something that you probably can gain some points from. So I will do that if I was in your situation and needed points. Some of you are right there at a B and at a high B, and could be the difference between a B and an A. So I would definitely take advantage of this opportunity. Other than that, this week's discussion, guys, is one of my favorite, and I am adamant about this because I think I credit this book to my pathway into education in regards to becoming an instructor, a professor. As I probably mentioned in the past, I came from the corporate world. I worked at a technology company last. Prior to that, we owned a real estate company. Prior to that, I owned a golf distribution center, a golf manufacturing center. So I've been an entrepreneur. I've been in business. I've ran companies. I worked for the film industry, managed in that area. So I have an experience when it comes to the industry. And when we moved down to Georgia 10 years ago, I finished my education, and one of my professors required us to read this book, which changed my perspective of what I was doing. And it put me in a path of trying to make something meaningful out of my life. And as I read through the book, it really touched home because I don't know if you all know, but I struggled in my life with major health issues, and it put me in a perspective of really valuing life and relationship and the purpose of life. And this book that we're going to be discussing in class or in our discussion post is about, that video is about the book. And the premise of the video is a professor who is given an opportunity on a series of lectures that Carnegie Mellon had put together, where he has an opportunity to go to what they call the last lecture. And the last lecture was a series of lectures where they invite professors to give a lecture in the premise that, what if this was the last chance you get to speak to your students? What would you say? What would you tell them? So that's why the series is called The Last Lecture. Professor Randy, unfortunately, was the premise was real. He was diagnosed with an incurable cancer, and this was potentially the last time he was going to have an opportunity to give a lecture. So it's interesting when you have a person that's living through those times, because they want to value every moment and every word and every opportunity to impart in it. So the purpose of this is not to bring a down or a negative environment to our discussion, but to give you an opportunity to reflect on what's important to you. What is your purpose of statement? I know many of you have been working through this semester. You've had a lot of things going on in your life. You have a lot of struggles. Man, I get it, man. I understand. Trust me, I am not sitting in a comfortable position myself. I have major medical situations that I'm working through, and I appreciate your effort, and I mean that. I'm not just saying those words. I really mean, I understand that some of you are fighting to get through this educational process, but it's worth it. And I'm encouraging you to really reflect upon your purpose of statement. What is that driver that's telling you to continue to fight for this degree? Because this is going to open up another opportunity that's going to bless you and your family and make you better. But what is that purpose of statement? Why are you doing it? What is that power object that's telling you to continue to go to school, even though you might be working third shift, second shift, to have a family? A lot is going on around you. What is driving you to do that? And that's that purpose of statement. So I'm excited to read it, because I'm telling you, I believe in this. As I mentioned, this is what got me in the pathway to education and to be a part of this whole process. I could have went back into the corporate world. I did fairly well there. I did very well in business. But this is my passion. This is what I want to do. And when I started this journey, I was asked why I wanted to become an instructor or professor. And one of my answers was the people, you. My passion, my point of passion in my life is to help you get to that next step in your life and the next journey, and to see you go through it. So I wish you luck. I hope that you're having a great time this week and this semester. Be safe, guys. Please, it's getting ugly out there. Take care of yourselves and the people you love. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care. We will see you next week.